Hello everyone, this is Catalina from daydreamingtoreality.com, and today I'm going to teach you how to make shadows and outlines for SVG files that you have or that you download on the web to use in Cricut Design Space. This tutorial is going to be a series. It's going to be part 1, part 2, and part 3. Part 1, and what we're going to look today is how to do the SVG files, like these regular shadows, the ones that people want the most and that you want the most, these ones over here, and also how to add multiple ones like this file. I'm sure you can see that I'm using 3 different outlines. I'm gonna be doing that. I'll show you how to do those multiple outlines. And on the second part of the next video is going to be how to add text, with your favorite fonts that you buy online and that you don't want to give up and that you also want outlines on, and some troubleshooting in case you run into some troubles with this technique. And the last part will be how to make outlines for images that are inside Cricut Design Space, their fonts and their library especially, because you cannot download those images, so you cannot use them. And I'm gonna leave this tutorial in the description if you just want to read it and see how it is, and in case you run into some trouble or whatever, or if you prefer reading, I have a nice article that will walk you through every single process. But for video, I feel it would be better for you to just see one at a time. And with that said, let's just go to our tutorial. First, you need to open the folder where your file is. I'm sure you've noticed that every time that you open an SVG file, or when you see it on your computer, you can only open it with a website browser. I have installed Google Chrome and I really like this web browser, but I've also tried it with Internet Explorer and it works as well. I haven't tried it with Safari or Mozilla, so if it doesn't work, please just download these browsers. They're so easy, you can uninstall it later. Unless you have designing softwares like Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, you really cannot edit these files. You can only see them. For instance, let's open this file. When you open the SVG file on a web browser, you'll notice that you just have the design on a white background, right? Nothing fancy, you just see what you just got, you like it, you keep it or not, you delete it. But there are more things that you can do on a web browser, and one of those is called Inspect Element. Inspect Element is used by a lot of computer programmers or people that know about computers or have websites that like to see how their changes will look before they add a code to their website for those changes to take place. I know it sounds a little complicated and you don't need to learn all of the minutiae about Inspect Element, but what we can do with Inspect Element is that we can edit SVG files, and with that we can just create an outline and then take a screenshot of it and upload it to Cricut Design Space. Now let me show you how to open Inspect Element. First, right click on an empty space of the web browser. Don't click on the design, just on an empty space. So right click and then inspect. Now, when you first open Inspect Element, I'm sure it's gonna be your first time opening it. You're gonna have 2 panels. The one that shows you the SVG file at the top, and then you were gonna have this one at the bottom. Now, I like and I prefer to have that panel on my right. You can follow it from here, but I just work better when that panel is on my right. So just select these little 3 dots and make sure you have the right selected. Let's open the panel a little bit more. On this panel, there is a lot of information and you don't have to worry. You just have to make sure you are always on the Elements tab. It's easy, it's the first one that comes, but just in case you get lost, Elements. And then you are on the Styles page or tab. And if you look up around here, every time I click, it shows me like a little part of the file. And it's very important that you're always selecting the first element. This one, it says SVG XMLNS. There are cases where it's just not gonna work there. And then if that happens, go to the second one, go to the third element and try what I'm about to teach you. But for most parts, it's always gonna work on the first element. To add the outline or shadow to our SVG file, select again the first element you see here. And now on the styles, step here where it says element style and write the word stroke. And then go shift in, yes, like the 2 dots. And select a color. Just start with black. You can write in black or the hex code if you have it. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. And I don't know if you can see, but there is a tiny little outline now around our SVG file. Let me change the color so you can see it better, like aquamarine. And now can you see it? It's blue. Or that color that we just selected. Basically, this is the turn on switch. So the first thing you have to add is the stroke. Now, let me turn it again black. And I'm sure that you just don't want a tiny little stroke, right? You want something that is big. So we're gonna add stroke. And this time we're gonna do a stroke width. And you can add numbers from 1 to 1,000, whatever. But you just start experimenting. For instance, this is 10. Do you see how beautiful that outline is? Or you can also do 20. And you see how ugly it looks inside the file? Don't worry about that. Just focus that the outline is beautiful and smooth. 30, perfect. And 40. Now, I like the 40. That's how I did it on my tutorial. I think it's a good line. And something that we also have to look is the smoothness of the outline. For instance, look at how it was at 30. Can you see this little point here? It gets really ugly. Sometimes if your file has a lot of points, you will see that the outline will get rough and with sharp angles, and you don't want that. So to get rid of those little points, we have to add something that is called stroke line join. And this stroke line join is gonna have everything. There is different effects. You can play with them, but I recommend you use the round. And now, do you see that it disappeared? That is because we just said, every single joint that is gonna be in all of the paths, these things, I want them to be round. Now I'm gonna increase again the stroke width to 40 because this is what I want. And I like how this outline looks. Again, don't worry about these purple things in here. Once you're done and you're happy how the outline looks, we are going to open something called the snipping tool. If you have a Mac computer, there is an app for that called Grab. I'm gonna leave links of mini tutorials of how to use this tool. It's so easy. It takes 3 minutes. Don't let learning something new stop you from following this tutorial. Now here you can find it by clicking on snipping tool, and as I told you, it's very easy. So snipping tool, and now I'm gonna say new, and I'm gonna save only the outline right here. Do you see how easy it is? Save as. I have the tutorial here that I prepared for you, desktop SVG outlines, and I'm gonna say Mr. Outline, and it looks perfect. Now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go to Cricut Design Space, and then we're gonna upload it, upload image. Sorry, this is so messy, my computer right now. And I'm gonna upload that image. This image is simple, right? Because we have big complex images. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna clean it up. And from here you can zoom in or zoom out, and we're gonna select this little tool. It's called a magic wand or eraser, whatever, and then click on the gray areas. These gray areas here, don't worry about this purple thing. Again, you can also leave, your preferences. You can leave the gray areas here if you don't want those blank spaces on your outline, but I'd recommend you still delete them because you can get rid of that with contour very easily if you want a solid in one single background or shadow. So click on continue, and now you can save your image as a cut image, not as a print and cut, but as a cut image. And this is just the perfect outline. And then we're gonna save it, and here we have it, the outline. And once you have the outline, remember to upload the original design as well. You upload it, but this is an SVG file, so it's just gonna upload fine. You don't have to worry about anything else. And when you have the outline we just created and this one, just select them both and click on insert images. The sizes are always going to be different, but that's very easily to correct. Just start resizing your image until it kind of fits the outline like this. Take your time so everything is completely centered. Perfect, that looks good to me, don't you think? And for instance, what I just told you, if you don't want those blank spaces here, you can click on contour and just get rid of them very easily. And now you have a perfect, smooth outline. How easy is that? I think it's very easy. Now, let me show you how to make multiple outlines. Again, we are going to open where our file is. And we see it here. I'm gonna do this one, Life is Better with You. And it's turned to open again, inspect element. Inspect. Perfect. Now here, I'm gonna make sure that I select the first element, and I'm going to add my initial stroke. I'm going to do aqua, just so you can see better. And I am going to do the stroke width is going to be, I'm going to create a multiple one. So I'm going to start with a little one of 10. And I'm also going to add the stroke line join again, so I don't have point and sharp angles coming out of my design. And I'm gonna add round. Perfect. So I have my first outline. So just again to the snipping tool and say new and save it as the first outline. I'm going to just save it as first outline. Life is better with you. Now I'm just going to double the size of that outline. I'm going to do 20. So it's a bigger outline. Do you see that? And I'm going to save it. And this time I'm going to do second outline. And last but not least, I'm gonna again do a third outline, and this time it's gonna be 40. And I'm gonna click on new. Save as. Third outline. We're done with our Internet Explorer. So I'm gonna open Cricut Design Space and start uploading and cleaning each one of the outlines that we just created. So let's just speed this up here and then I'll show you when it's done. Now look at this image. It has all these other little things in here that I could delete, but I don't want that. That is ugly. So I'm just gonna delete the outside and click on continue and upload as a cut image. So you see that we got rid of all of those things. Now I have my 3 outlines and I'm gonna upload my original design. I'm gonna select them all and insert them to the canvas. That's looking pretty good. Now here you can see that this file is in different pieces, so I'm just gonna weld it so it's in just one single layer. And I am going to organize the layers. First one, the original file has to be first, then this one over here, the second one, the first outline, then the second outline has to be underneath the second one, and then the third one is ready. Now I'm gonna add 3 different colors so you guys can see everything better. This one, let's do a nice yellow, my favorite color. Pretty much you're gonna always see yellow on my tutorials. And this one, let's do a nice purple. And here, let's just do the colors of my daydreaming to reality, because these are some of my favorite colors, right? Perfect. And we have the original design. Now look at these ones over here. These 3 outlines don't have to be resized because we took the screenshot from the same angle and the same width from our browser, so they're ready to go. The only one that needs to be outlined is the original one. So just place it on the first one and try to make it in a way that fits the first outline. It may take a couple of seconds for you to get it completely right, but just take your time so it fits nicely. There you go, that looks good to me. Now I'm gonna place this one here. And for this other outline, the blue one, I don't like how those empty spaces look. You may like them, I don't like them at this point, so you can just click on contour and hide all of them and just leave the big outline on top. That looks better to me. And now I'm going to place these other two on top. And there you have it, 3 beautiful outlines. Now let's change this black color to white so it can look better. Doesn't that look so pretty? Now something that you can also do is let's do a duplicate of the first outline and the original design. Let's copy and paste them. And you can slice them. And look what you just did here. You have 2 copies now of the original design, but now this one you created from slicing the outline from the original file, and it just looks so pretty. It even looks better than the original file, don't you think? And then you can, there are so many things you can do from this point forward that you can just play with it, see what looks better and what doesn't look good. What do you think? Isn't this like the best way to do outlines without Illustrator or Photoshop? If you just want something real quick, you can do it really easy with Inspect Element. These other 2 files are also on the article I'm gonna leave in the description, and I want you to practice. Try doing these files. I did this Bible verse with 3 different outlines, and then I did this happy birthday one with the method I just taught you. And I think practice really will help you. And you may face some frustrations, but I'm gonna be addressing those and maybe some troubleshooting on the next part of this video coming next week. So make sure you go check it out. And that's it. I really hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial, and I hope you make tons of outlines. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out any coming videos. And also don't forget to follow me on social media or Instagram. In fact, this tutorial itself was requested a lot over there, and I listen to all of my followers, what they want to see, what they want to learn. And if you have questions, make sure to leave them there on any of my photos. I read all of the comments. And that's it. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.